might have guessed, we're off to a waterfall today. We've had pretty crummy weather the last little bit here in Nova Scotia. With that, it's been a bunch of rain. So hopefully that's filled up some waterfalls. And I was just doom scrolling and saw this one. I didn't know it existed. It's 40 minutes away from the house. Supposedly a 30-foot falls. And pretty easy to get to. So that's where we're off to. It's actually not in the book that I have, but there is another one that's about 20 minutes away if we have time for that one. So I did print out the instructions on how to get here because there's probably no internet. So it says when you pass the river, which is much smaller than I was expecting, just on the left is an ATV trail. So we're parked here. So we head up here. 200 meters up the trail, and then an identifiable left turn. Should be marked as well. So follow the trail to the river's edge, then begin walking upstream approximately 100 meters. Should be right up there. I can hear it. Well, that's a nice falls, except one obvious problem. There's two trees going right across the wider field shot of it. So let's go explore, see what we see. Got this tree in the way, but I think we should have a decent view if we just go under or sit under the tree. We still have a decent shot of this. Just be wider. That's going to look nice with a long exposure. Although it's super overcast, which is good for waterfall photography, I'm still going to use a polarizer. And again, I'll just darken down those specular highlights. So adjust the polarizer. We're at about 1 second. Nice and green. It's interesting that the falls, the water here just ends. And normally you get that flow out on the photo, but it just ends. I don't know, that just looks weird to me. There's some nice colors in that moss on both sides, and a nice little spot. I did not know how, I didn't know this was here 5 years earlier. So I got straight on stuff done. I got some wide, there are trees directly above it. So I have some that are a little tighter, more of just the falls. So I might pick a few intimate images out of it, and then might try to climb up here and get a shot on it. So I think I got the basic shots kind of covered off. Now I'm going to kind of scope further out and see what else I can try to shoot. So I just climbed up the hill here, but this view is blocked. I'm going to probably try to get up on that dead branch, sorry, dead tree trunk that fell, and we might have a good shot going that way. But I'm also just going to venture across to the top first. Well, that was super easy to get to. It's pretty flat, so why I came up here is if I can get a composition over there where I can put myself up on the top, that's what I'm going to try to do. So there's two trees down here that I might be able to use as perches. The other one is further down, but I might be able to use as perches, shooting across, and then run all the way around and come up here. So let's find the perch. It's slick with all the wet leaves. Let's see if I can get across here without getting a soaker. Too late. The other one I don't think I can safely get to. All of this stuff is loose. I don't want to rip all the moss down, and everything's slick. Let's see if I can go down here and get some. This spot might work if I can get the angles to work. So I have this branch that I got to contend with, and then if I stand right up there with obviously a vertical shot. Well, I think it's worth trying to bring my camera up here at least and see what we can do. I got to remember to bring my remote timer so I don't have to do it twice. So while I contemplate whether I'm going to actually try to get up here for that shot, I think I can do it with this not being in the way. At 24 millimeters, I don't think I have the bottom of the falls in it, which is fine. But just shooting the composition with basically cutting out the highlights of the sky, and then the falls going right through the center of the frame. Polarizer, 1 second exposure at f11. My finger hit the shutter while I was transitioning from landscape to portrait. So I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to go up here where this shot is. I'm going to get the remote trigger set. I can probably get there in 2 minutes. And then hope it works out. So I had the delay at 1 minute, 1 second, just because that's when it was there. 1 second exposure, I bumped the f-stop up to 14 to make it 1 second. A delay every 2 seconds picture, and then 399. So give us ample time to run this out. I bumped the timer up to 3 seconds so I could, or 3 minutes, so I could shoot the B-roll as I came. And I think I'm here way too early. The light should light up when it's taking the delay. Well, I stayed well past the 3 minutes, so if things worked out, I have a shot. If they didn't, I'm probably not going to do it again. I don't think it's going to be that compelling of an image, but if it turned out, I'll put it up. You can let me know.
Adding a little atmosphere, and I believe it turned out pretty well.
But I don't think I mentioned these are McGinnis Falls, I believe, also known as Silence Falls, I guess. Considering the water flow of the river trekking in here, I wasn't expecting this much here, but we did get a decent amount of rain, so that was the hope. So we'll leave these ones behind and get back to the car, and then go find, there's another little one that's about 20 minutes away. So since I'm out in this general area, I thought I'd tick that one off too. I've never been there either, so we'll take a look at the book. That one is there and get directions to it. I think that one's actually on Google Maps too, so this one isn't, which is surprising because I think it's 30 feet-ish, ballpark. So we're back at the car. Use Waterfalls of Nova Scotia guide. This one's in here, and it's about a 45-minute hike. So in the book it lays out some information about it, falls nearby. Again, it's not inclusive, doesn't have all of them because this one's not on it, and there's a few other nice ones that are, it was printed in 2018, I think. The thing I like about this book is that it does have pictures of a lot of them, so I can have an idea if it's one that's going to be suitable for photography, because just because it's a waterfall or a big one doesn't mean you can actually get a nice composition or a clean shot of it, and this one looks like it is. And then so we'll head there. So these falls are from the road upstream, in through here, and 1.25 kilometers. So about 45 minutes. Hopefully I can do it in less. And I'll see you when I get there, unless there's something else cool along the way. But I'll probably go straight to the falls and then look at the cool stuff. But we just walk along the river here. Little Meander Fall Brook Falls, or Little Meander Falls, let's call it. Nice little spot here. It's 12:30. I left at 12:11, so 19 minutes to get in. And if I stayed on that upper trail, I'd probably be quicker. So I'm definitely taking the upper trail out. But this is a neat little spot. What's behind me is pretty cool too. This little rock cabin spinning around. I don't know if it comes across here, but this looks pretty deep. It'd be a pretty nice little swimming pool. I'm not prepared to go swimming, and I suspect the water's probably pretty cold, but you can see it drops off like right there. And it looks like I can easily get up here for a shot. Let's pick out the camera. Let's see what we got. So we'll start off super simple with the falls in the middle. I got the polarizer on. It really only affects this part, but it is a little bit brighter. I might have to put on my 3-stop ND filter. We're at about a quarter of a second at f11, and just I think it still gives enough detail in the water. Oops. There's enough streaking going on. I think it works. I'll still probably put the 3-stop on. So with the 3-stop, it's 2.5 seconds, much milkier. But again, I like the milky side of it. Others like the streaky side. Other people just shoot it at whatever it is. But I like always slowing down water. A little bit uglier, So for the most part, these falls are pretty sheltered from these open gaps, which is actually really nice. I like that. The problem is if I try to introduce myself into the frame, I think that's the easiest spot to do it. It's right here, and that doesn't give me a whole lot of room for that. So I might have to do it on this side, but then I won't be as centered in the frame. We'll make it work. I'm gonna try to get across here to the other side to shoot, and then I'll figure out getting myself in the frame. I always do that last anyway. All right, I think I found a way across. There's a down tree that I should be able to step on and hop across without getting too wet. And I got my remote trigger set up. The exact same settings as the other fall, 3 minutes. I'm gonna set a timer on my phone so I know when it's done. 2-second exposure. In 3 minutes to run around. I haven't actually gone across, but I'm pretty confident I can get up there easily enough. And then I'm gonna take off my black so I stand out a little bit more. I got a nice red shirt on underneath, but I'm almost always in black, and it's gonna be a darker scene with the waterfall kind of, and then that red's gonna contrast with it pretty nicely, I think. So let's prep my run-in. I just had the polarizer on. I'm trying to capture the green color here, but if I darken the image to how I want it, it's too dark. So I'm probably gonna exposure blend this with a 3-second, 4-second exposure that gives me that color, but that makes the waterfall too bright. And then shorter exposure, so 1 second, half a second for that. But it's neat. I only have the 24 millimeter. That's wide as I can go here, and it kind of captures in here a little, but obviously not the whole thing, and then it kind of gets ugly in there. So I'm going to take one last shot probably over here, shooting right on, and then I think that's it. Well, I was hoping I wouldn't have to go across and get another battery, but it did die just as I had this other shot framed up, so that's a pain. Good go game. Well, I tried one last composition. I'm not sold on it. We'll see. There's more using the water in front, the little rapids, before it comes down into the stream here. I don't think it was enough to make it worth it, but we will see. We'll break down, head back out, and see if I can beat 19 minutes. Taking the has to be an easier trail than what I took coming in, because I was down near the water a lot, and I was going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, which kind of sucked. So check my watch. The watch says it's 1:40. Now the sun's coming out. See the time on the watch? 1:54. So 15 minutes, 14 minutes. I wouldn't recommend going that fast because I'm sweating, and there's also a whole lot of like branches. It's pretty easy to trip. It's easy, but there's a lot of branches. Nova Scotia woods. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Hopefully the next one's going to be the Harry Potter one, and then go from there. So yeah, nice outing. Cheers.